Hello everyone, this is Jake from CINECALIBER. This video is going to go over my most top anticipated shows for the 2024 year. Before I begin, I wanted to do a shout out to my buddy he's been helping me with video editing for my videos, and he also helped me find software to be able to relate my phone camera to my laptop. If you guys are interested, he does have a YouTube channel called Magic Nightman, and it's a video game streaming channel. So if you're into that, definitely after this video go like and subscribe over there. So we got quite a list here, so let's see what we got. So none of these shows are in any kind of order. These are just my most anticipated shows for the year. So to begin, the first one that I'm excited to see is The Penguin. So if you guys don't know, probably don't, Batman is arguably one of my favorite superheroes besides Spider-Man. I just love the character, always have. I love what he stands for. I just always enjoyed the darkness around him, but how there's also some kind of a light as well. But basically, with this new Batman series that Matt Reeves has created for us, there's actually going to be spin-offs on that world. Now, this Batman world is not part of the main DCU that James Gunn is making. It's actually part of something called Elseworlds, which is more of like a multiverse of the DC. They already made the Batman, which was probably one of my favorite films of the 2022 year. But they're making a spin-off show called The Penguin, and what it is focusing on is basically that villain. So I have to say, the Penguin really hasn't had much good comic accurate depictions lately. He had the one with Danny DeVito. He kind of was like a mutant in that one. Burgess Meredith was like a comical penguin, so to speak. So I haven't really seen like a good organized crime one. And the Batman, basically with Colin Farrell playing the character, he basically has made the most accurate version of the Penguin. But we only really got to touch base lightly on him because the film focused mostly on Batman and the Riddler in that one. So what the show is apparently supposed to do is explore more of how he becomes like the head of Gotham's crime syndicate. Because if you watch the film, you can kind of see how it ends up where he has the ability to kind of take over organized crime. So I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with him in that show. And Colin Farrell looks basically unrecognizable as the Penguin. He's, the makeup artists for his character have done a tremendous job for that. But yeah, the Penguin has come out probably I think later on this year, not probably a later half. So I'm excited for that one.
I got you! I got you!
We also have Avatar: The Last Airbender. So you guys will probably find this funny. I have never really fully watched the animated show of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That's rough, buddy.
I just never really got into it. Not that there's nothing wrong with it. It's something I just never really just fully got invested in. But being that Netflix has done such a good job making One Piece into a live-action anime, making a live-action version of that anime, I think Netflix could do the same thing with Avatar: The Last Airbender, and the trailer looks pretty promising. Now, I did watch the M. Night Shyamalan movie, and that was just a god-awful movie altogether. So I'm hoping this show kind of redeems that and is a little bit better. For those who know, Albert Kim is the showrunner. He made the show Sleepy Hollow on Fox, which I was a pretty avid fan of. So it's got a dark, comical sense to it. So I'm hoping maybe this Avatar: The Last Airbender is the same. So, but I know like some of the characters, Aang is the main character. He goes on a journey and he has to learn how to bend, I believe, the different elements of the world. So I'm curious to see if the live action will maybe get me to finally fully get invested into this universe. But that one definitely has caught my eye for this coming year. Yes. You season 5. So You, when it first came out, it was arguably one of the best shows of the year. that first season. And every season after has actually been pretty solid, but that first season was just...
The best thing I've ever seen since long time.
Couldn't do any better than that first season, but they've kept it interesting. I mean, you go in to watch it and you just see this crazy guy, Joe Goldberg, doing crazy stalker murdery things. And it's like, you don't know who to root, like what to root for, like who to root for in the film, because he's basically the main character, but he's also the main antagonist, and he does very bad things. He's a very bad person, but of course it's hard not to root for him because the show solely focuses on him. The way season 4 ended, there's just so many avenues that could go with the character. So I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with his character, and this is the final season, so it's kind of like Dexter in a way. It's like if it doesn't end in a certain way, and if you get my vibe, then you can kind of sense what I'm spilling with that. But I'm hoping that they do a decent job and they close out the character and the story in a good way. And they've done a good job so far, keeping the story fresh, even 4 seasons in, which I didn't think was even possible with this kind of a concept. But yeah, season 5, I believe that comes out probably, I'd say in the fall of this year. So let's keep an eye out for that one. Next on my list is Daredevil Born Again. I love the Netflix show Daredevil. It's probably one of the best shows I've ever watched. Those 3 seasons are just solid. They're anywhere between a 5 to a 4.5 show. The characters, the atmosphere, the story, the themes behind it, the darkness, it's just so well put together. So when they announced that they were going to make a Daredevil show in the MCU, I was like, how is it going to compare? But then they brought in the same cast members, which was okay, but then I heard like the original script was like the first 4 episodes you don't even see Daredevil until the 4th episode, and it's more of like a law show, which is cool. Daredevil's, Matt Murdock's a lawyer, so that makes sense, but at the same time, you can't make the audience wait 4 episodes to see Daredevil. Like, it just doesn't sound right. So Kevin Feige, he didn't like that, and a bunch of other things, and he kind of cut the whole team before revamping it all. But basically, he brought in a bunch of the creators from the Punisher show, which was also a really great show, and hopefully they can kind of keep that same image going that the Netflix show had. And apparently it's also canon to that show, or to this universe. So I'm really hoping this is more of a continuation, not just like a multiverse reboot, but and they can kind of just continue because it's the same actors. So I'm excited to see how they continue with that. It was supposed to be released next year, but I believe they pushed it up to the end of this year. So unless that changes, that's definitely one of my most anticipated of this year. Next on my list is House of the Dragon season 2. The ending of the first season is unlike anything, and it just opens up such a bloodbath for this next season. Within the first episode, I'm expecting death after death, just destruction, fire, dragons, the whole 9 yards, because that ending just sets up such a deadly premise, and the build up to it through that first season is just unreal. And it comes out this summer, so it's coming out soon here. I'm excited to see where they go with it, but yeah, that one's been on my radar. It's been way too long since that ending. It's like 2 years now, so, but I'm all for it. It didn't get affected by the writer's strike. It's right on cue, so no delays. I'm expecting a quality second season out of it this next season coming up here. Next after that, we have The Boys season 4. So last year, one of my most anticipated shows was Gen V. That spinoff was exactly how you do a spinoff. Just keep it away from the main characters, the main story, keep it in the same storyline, but also keep it fresh, keep it kind of connected. You couldn't have done better with that show. And basically the way that show ended, it leads right into The Boys season 4. So I'm hoping when season 4 starts, it has a nice cohesive storyline and kind of brings everyone together in a nice way. It ended with so many different things, and it opens up so many different avenues. So, and then it's gonna be a good one. I mean, Eric Kripke, he's just done such a tremendous job with that universe, and he's like made such offensive content, and it just goes outside of the norm, and everyone's just not used to that. But it's so creative and so different, and it's just so good. Probably arguably the best superhero franchise that there is to this day. But yeah, The Boys season 4 is definitely on my radar for this coming year. We also have Umbrella Academy season 4. Talk about a weird show that I just kind of just scrolled through Netflix one day. I'm like, yeah, let's see how this is, and it's been surprisingly good. This is going to be the last season. This is the 4th season. Basically, all the characters at the end kind of diverted away after, I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't really watched it yet. But they divert away from a scenario that happened at the end of season 3, and hopefully they conclude everyone's story on a good note in this one. And yeah, but I'm expecting a pretty decent season. I think Jeremy Slater is still on board. I mean, he hasn't had that great of a track record with the 2015 Fantastic Four and also the Death Note live action, but I think they're gonna do good, hopefully, with this last season of Umbrella Academy. And we have Halo season 2. I've already started watching this show. It's like 3 episodes in so far. I'm liking it. The first season was kind of like, I guess, a good setup, but also not. Like, there was a lot of weird things with season 1, but I feel like season 2 feels a little bit more structured. It doesn't feel as all over the place as that first season was. Good action. I like where they're going with Chief. I like where they're going with the Spartans. The Covenant's become this huge force. Like, I don't know, the writing in this second season so far has been really solid, and I'm really hoping that it pays off in these last few episodes. Well, yeah, let's see, 4 episodes. I think there's only 8 to 10, so yeah, there's still a bit to go, but still, I'm liking it a lot. Pablo Schreiber has been an amazing Master Chief. So I mean, the complaints about him having his helmet and not having his helmet, it's kind of stupid to me. Like, you have to develop a character. He can't just be in his helmet all the time. So, that was one of the complaints I just don't understand. But I'm really liking season 2 so far, and I can't wait to see how the show progresses from here. We're pretty much on the animation part of this list. This one is called Hazbin Hotel. Shout out to my buddy Darren. He actually got me into this show. This show is really out there. Like, it's basically an animated show about hell. The first episode was made on YouTube by a bunch of random animators, and it was funded by the showrunner Vivian Medrano, through a fund that she does. And after that, it did so well, it finally got picked up by Amazon, and the first season just released this year, just a few weeks ago, at the end of January. So, but basically, it's about a manager that basically runs his hotel to help redeem the souls of hell to go to heaven. And there's just so much funky stuff going on in between all that, and it's just funny, animation solid. Vivian Medrano's done a very good job with this show, and so much that it finally got picked up from just that pilot episode that came out years prior. So the only really big actress I know in there is Stephanie Beatrice as Vaggie, the character. She's played in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She's also played Mirabelle in Encanto. So decent cast there, at least for her. But I enjoyed that first episode. I can't wait to dive into this first season to see how well it goes. And hopefully, I think it already got renewed, so it's done a pretty good job. So let's see how that goes. After that, we got Creature Commandos. James Gunn, I have so high hopes for his DC universe. I am really hoping he redeems it, because DC really needs it. It's needed it for as long as it's been around, really. But Creature Commandos is basically an animated show that's going to kick off that first phase of his DC universe. It's about a bunch of random characters, kind of like Suicide Squad, and Amanda Walker is basically just gathering them together for a mission. Decent cast. Got Frank Grillo. He's going to be Rick Flag Sr. Sean Gunn's going to be Weasel. David Harbour's going to be like Frankenstein. Like, decent voice actors in this. So and James Gunn's behind it all. I'm all for it. It's supposed to come out at the end of this year to start the whole DCU. I can't wait. So hopefully that works out pretty well. After that, we got Invincible Season 2. This is another one that I've already started watching. I'm like 4 episodes into it. It went on a break and it's coming back in March. But Invincible is made by the same person that made The Boys, and it's very similar, dark, gory, superhero kind of world. And basically, they had the one superhero, Mark, who's basically invincible, and then his father is Omni-Man, played by the great J.K. Simmons. But basically, where it ended up, there's just so much happening, and when I do my review on that, we can go a little bit more into all of that. But I mean, the way the last episode ended, there's just so much to go, and I think there's only gonna be 4 more episodes, sadly. But that show so far has been amazing. Each episode's been solid. Mark's character development has been solid. Omni-Man's has been as well. So I'm really hoping for the best for the later half of the season. But I'm excited to see the rest of that for this year. And then last but not least, we have X-Men 97. Now, for you 90s kids and my generation, a young generation, 2000s, X-Men, the original animated show, was a show that I just loved as a kid. Like, that was a show I just wanted to go, I had to watch on TV all the time. And the fact that they're continuing that show and then bringing it into the MCU with the same actors and just continuing the story is just astounding to me. The trailer for it just got released like maybe yesterday, and it just looks and feels the same way. So I'm really excited to see how that's gonna go, and if it's gonna tie into this X-Men narrative, or is it gonna be its own multiverse thing. There's just so many multiverse aspects at this point, but I'm excited for that. And that's pretty much my list for the 2024 year for TV shows. So if you guys have your own list, you can comment on it on this video. You can please like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing. And as I said before, if you like video game streams, definitely check out my buddy's YouTube channel, Magic Nightman. You won't be disappointed. He does very good work. Thank you guys, and I will be back for the next video. Thank you.